I told you, my name is Wassime, so I'm recruitment manager for HEC Paris. I do recruitment for the pre-experience master's program, so I get the chance to tell you more about these programs. We will talk about the overview of program, obviously. As I said, I will do the presentation, talk to you about the different programs that we offer, talk to you about the application process. And at the end, you will get the chance to ask your questions if you have direct questions. And then obviously, I will give you my contact so that you can also contact me later on if you want some more information. So just to give you an overview of HEC Paris, we offer a wide range of programs. The pre-experience master's programs I told you about are at the top left here of the graph. What does that mean? It means that you're eligible to apply as long as you hold at least a bachelor degree and have less than 3 years of work experience by the time you start the program. For those who have more than 3 years of work experience, we do offer MBA programs. For those who even have more of 10 years of work experience, we do have executive MBAs, executive masters. All of these programs are available on our website, hec.edu. Something that is important to mention, we do have summer school programs. There are great opportunities to have a first, I would say, taste of HEC before committing to a full-time program, and PhD programs for those who would like to continue after their masters. So a few words, a few numbers about HEC. So I won't go through all the rankings here because I think they speak for themselves. So I haven't updated the banner here, but for the International Finance and the Master in Management, so the Financial Times 2021 ranking actually confirmed those figures. So we are quite happy about that. One that is important to mention is the one at the very end, number 3. Which means that we are the 3rd most represented school among top executives in the world. That's by the ALMA Index of Global Executives. A few numbers, we have 4,500 students currently enrolled in our programs of 150 different nationalities. So the diversity of nationalities is very important, and that's what gives also the dynamic to our programs. So 64% of international students today at HEC Paris. We also have 130 international partners. Among these partners, you will find many universities around the world with whom we have dual degrees. I will tell you more about that, but you have the option of combining a program at HEC with a program in a partner university. A huge network of alumni, 68,000. The numbers are always growing, but this is a great added value at HEC because you will find in 135 different countries many alumni who work in different sectors. So definitely a very active, very involved network. On 138 full-time professors, more than the half are also internationals. So yeah, that's basically the overview. Find these numbers also on the website if you do some research. Speaking about the alumni, and I will tell you more about that when we talk about the application process, but they're also very involved when it comes to applications. So you definitely advise you and recommend you get in touch with them if you find some on LinkedIn, for example. So the HEC Paris teaching philosophy, so we make sure that we maximize the number of class hours and make sure that you're not more than 50 students per class. That's very important for the group, the working in group, for the real life case studies that you have underneath, but also this balance between the theory and the practice is very important, as we have 50% of the professors who are actual practitioners who come to teach at HEC, and you'll be working, as I said, in groups and real life case studies and company projects that varies depending on the programs. And inspiring environment. Obviously, we have a very active career center who is very involved in making sure that you will get in touch with the right person for developing your career. We have many events that are organized: the finance fair, the consulting fair, the tech day, many events for you to start building your network during your studies at HEC. So the professionalizing aspect is very, very important, very central here. And obviously a strong campus social life. So we'll get the chance to show you a few pictures of our campus. So the programs. So the flagship, the most famous, I would say, program is the Master in Management, which is a 2-year program. As you can see, the first year is a generalist year, and the second year is a specialization. In between, you have the option of doing a gap year. This is optional, but most students choose to do it. This program gives you the full HEC experience. As I said, you alongside your courses, you also have many events, many activities that are organized, and you definitely get the chance to also gain some more work experience while doing this gap year. So this gap year is the opportunity to have 2 internships in France or abroad. And in the specialization, you will find international finance, accounting, finance and management, marketing, sustainability, and social innovation, many majors that you can do inside at HEC. But also, as I said earlier, you can combine a Master in Management with another program with a partner university. This is what we call dual degree program. So you can instead, for instance, apply for a M2M, what we call M2M. So with Yale, for instance, or you can combine the Master in Management with a Master in Innovation at TUM in Munich. So the application process is the same, but you will be, the application will be considered by the jury from both schools. Note that you can also apply for a Master in Management and then apply to this dual degree during your gap year. So it means that you also have the option of starting your Master in Management and then choose this dual degree as a specialization. So the only exception here is the data science for business, as the first year is actually not at HEC, but at École Polytechnique, which is a top engineering school in France, and the second year is at HEC. Finally, we also offer many specialized masters. So as you can see, all of these programs are taught in English, except 2 of them, which are at the very bottom, Media Art et Création, and the other one is a law program. But for the rest, it's all taught in English. So these are 1-year programs, 10 months of courses, followed by 4 months of professional experience. You get to go directly to specialize directly and to have access early on the job market. So note that these specialized masters are also the specialization that you find in your second year of Master in Management. So for any questions regarding the programs, I know I've given many information here, but you are still welcome to contact me or to ask your questions at the end of this presentation. So I wanted to give you an idea of the class profile. For that, I took the example of the Master in Management. So as you can see, we talked about diversity in terms of nationalities, and this is definitely the case for the Master in Management, as we have 66 different nationalities among these 250 international students. 40% of women. Hopefully this number will keep growing in the upcoming years. The average age is 23 because these are pre-experienced master's programs. So most of the students have had less than 2 years of work experience. Sometimes they even apply directly after their bachelor. You have here an indication of the average GMAT. So that's only an indication. We will talk about what is the GMAT and and how important it is in the application. And obviously all academic backgrounds are eligible. And this is definitely the second interesting point, which is the diversity of background. As you can see, we have students who come from business management, but also engineering, economics, social sciences, etc. So that for the first generalist year is definitely the moment where you get to be with students from different countries and different backgrounds. So for this first year of the generalist phase, this first year, you have a series of core courses that are common to everyone. So you can see an example of the list here on the slide. So you get to have different kind of courses such as finance, but also marketing, statistics, strategy, etc. So different courses that are common to everyone, and then you can start already building your program by choosing some elective courses. So we have also here examples of different categories of elective courses that are available. Note that, for instance, if you have already studied one of these core courses in your previous university, you can also ask for a waiver and replace it by an elective. That's possible up until a certain number of credits, but if you apply, we can definitely give you further information about that. Alongside all of these courses, you obviously have all of these concrete projects, concrete real-life case studies, but also all the events that are organized and the career fairs and the meetings with alumni. So courses, but also building your network and the professional aspect that is very important. In your second year, so as I said, you can specialize inside on campus in one of these majors, so strategic management, international finance, marketing, etc. You don't have to take your decision when you apply. The decision for the specialization, the application for the specialization happens at the end of your first year or during your gap year if you choose to do one. Finally, you also have these international double degrees options that you can apply for as well at the end of your first year or during your gap year. And you have obviously here the list of what is available, but you have the full list also on our website. So make sure you look at the different course content that are available. Also visit the partner universities to see some more information. So regarding the career path, what is very obviously was a very good number is the placement, the job placement rate that we have after a master in management, but that also applies to the specialized masters. As you can see here, 99% of graduates find a job within 3 months after they finish their program here at HEC. So that's a very positive number. The question obviously is not will I find a job, but what kind of job am I going to do? Also, the diversity that we talked about is also present after the program, as 40% of graduates work outside of their home country. So you have here a little graph of different destinations after the Master in Management. So Europe and the UK is obviously a big part of it, as we have many big cities, many financial places here in Europe, but also other parts that are growing as well. I think I'm thinking of Asia, many students who go back to their home country as well, or even Europeans who go to work to Asia. So that's also growing. You have an indication here of the average starting salary, the salary after 3 years. And another number that is growing as well, which is the number of students who choose to do entrepreneurship after. So 8% launched their own company. That's the figure for last year. And sectors also are very different. Consulting is very important, but also financial services, technology, non-profit, etc. And the MSc program, so that we talked about here, I wanted to show you again the list and what's the idea. The idea is to get more specialized courses, to get directly to your specialization, to get earlier on the job market, but you also, it's also organized the same way as you have core courses, elective courses. Some of them, most of them have a study trip included, and are obviously very professional in terms of the projects that you get to do. Once again, the difference is the MSc in Data Science for Business, where you do your first technical year at Polytechnique and the second business aspect of the program at HEC Paris. And after these specialized masters, you also get to do a certificate. So a certificate is a 6 to 8 weeks program that is built together by the professors and by these companies that are listed here. The opportunity for you to also grow your network at the end of your program, working in a concrete project with one of these companies. So the idea is not necessarily if you study finance to go directly to M&A, but to try, for example, luxury or data for management. So all of these things are possible. The application process is during your program. You get to choose two, and then there is a short selection that is organized. But this is definitely a positive end of the year for the specialized masters, and they are included in the specialized masters, and they are optional for the master in management. So the campus. So here you obviously have a few photos of what the campus looks like. So I couldn't put everything, obviously, but you have the picture of the main building on the top here. You also have a photo of our library, also the graduation ceremony, and a photo of the dorms. So as you can see, it's a very green campus. It's located between Paris and Versailles. We like to call it American style campus because you have on-campus accommodation. By the way, all admitted international students are guaranteed accommodation on campus. And the involvement of our students through these students' associations, the societies, the clubs is very important. And this is something also that as a recruiter, I tend to recommend you to put forward in your application is what kind of activities you've done outside university, outside your courses, if you are doing volunteering, if you're part of any cultural, humanitarian, professional, but also sports. We want to know all of that. I will tell you more about that later on. So I still have time for the application process. So at HEC Paris, we look at different aspects of your profile. So it's very important to have in mind that all of these points are very important. There is no one point that is more important than the other one. We have a holistic approach, which means that you can easily counterbalance if you feel that one of the points is a bit weaker. So we look at your GMAT or GRE test. Obviously, we look at your grades, which university you come from. But we also look at your course cultural sensitivity, if you've traveled, if you've learned languages, if you participated in international projects, being in touch with international students. We look at your experience. This could be internships or a first job. We look at your extracurricular, as I mentioned, the involvement you have also outside of your courses, and your motivation that you get the chance to show in your essay questions. So we'll talk about the essay question later, and the interview if you're admissible. So once again, all of these points are important. That's why we don't give a minimum GMAT, because I know that that's going to be the question, but we don't give an indication for that. It's basically the balance of all of these aspects. So the application process is a 4-step process. So now that you have all the information, you will go to our website, check the course content, check the different information on each program, and then you will have an apply button almost everywhere on the website. You will then create your online application, your application portal. In this application, you will get to choose the program you want and submit certain documents that are listed here. So we'll be asking for degree certificates or a current enrollment certificate. We'll ask for all official academic transcripts. If you can include GPA, that's amazing, but you don't have to. But if you can, it's great to add the GPA. We ask for a 1-page CV. I'll give you a few tips regarding the CV on the next slides. We ask for a GMAT or a GRE test. So note that we currently accept the online version of these tests. The Tajmaj is a test for the French speakers. So if there are any French speakers among you, you can also take the Tajmaj. Then we ask for an English language proficiency. So we do accept TOEFL, TOEIC, IELTS, and Cambridge. Those are the 4 that we accept with a validity of 5 years for all of them. Now, if your bachelor was entirely taught in English, for instance, you can be exempt. You can ask for a waiver for this test. We just have to prove it with an official document stating that your degree was entirely taught in English, or if you are also national from an English-speaking country. But if there are any particular cases, as I mentioned to Jay, you can contact me also on the email address and ask your question. We ask for two letters of recommendation. One of them must be academic, the other one can be either professional or academic. Essay questions that are questions geared towards the program that are asked directly in the application form. So you can already open your application form and get familiar with these questions so that you need time to prepare it. And 110 euros application fee. Once you've done all of that, you need to submit your application before one of the deadlines I will give you right after. And you will receive your admissibility results around 3 weeks after this deadline. So if you're admissible, you will then receive an invitation for an interview, which is the third step. The interview takes place, and if you're admitted, you will get your results also around 3 weeks after. So the whole process lasts from 4 to 6 weeks. So these are the deadlines I mentioned earlier. So we organize 4 rounds per year. The first one is we're currently in the first round, so the deadline for the application is October the 19th, then followed by the 2nd on January, the 3rd on March, and the 4th on April. So what we recommend is that you start your application as soon as possible and submit it when you're ready, meaning that it's always better to apply earlier. Now, if you need to retake your GMAT or if you need to have more time to decide, I will definitely recommend you wait for the next round. The application is, if you haven't submitted it on the website, it's automatically transferred to the next round. But we will need also to apply when your application is the strongest. So it's up to you also to gauge, to evaluate if you're absolutely 100% ready to apply with all the information you've provided. So just for the CV, and obviously you're welcome to send me your CV if you want to have a review, if you want some advice, but we ask for a 1-page CV. This is basically an example, so it doesn't have to look like that. The layout, I let you decide about the layout, but you need to have this information on your CV. So education first, if you can mention your GPA, if you can also mention your majors or main subjects that you've had during your bachelor, your professional experiences, obviously, including internships, any volunteering that you've had, any awards that you've received, all of your extracurricular activities, your participation in clubs, societies. We really want to know that. So we really want to know about your profile also regarding this, IT skills, languages, and interests. And don't hesitate to be precise about your interests. If you like piano, or if you like football, just let us know about that and give us also details, because we want to know that. Regarding the interview, so it's a 25 minutes interview. So that's when you're admissible. You get to do the interview with the jury. In the jury, there's an admission officer, there's the program director, sometimes there's an alumni. I won't go through all the points here because I think it's quite obvious. It's like any interview. One point that is very important is do your homework. I think it's very important. It's helpful for you, but it's also very appreciated that you go and get information. You can contact current students. So we have a platform on our website called Unibody. You will find it. It's an Ask a Student button in which you can contact current students. You can also contact alumni. Now on LinkedIn, you can easily filter per school and find alumni in your own area, or someone who has your dream job, for example, and ask us, participate in the webinars that we organize. Also go to the website, check all of this information. That's very, very important when you take the interview. So the scholarships, we at HEC have the HEC Foundation, who offer merit-based scholarship, and all international admitted candidates are automatically considered for that, which means that the jury will look at all the profiles after the admission and give their answer about 2 weeks after the admission. This covers part of the tuition fees, but there are two different ones. There's the Excellence Scholarship for everyone and the Women's High Potential Scholarship. So I really invite you to go to the website and to check for each program. We have a fees and financing tab in which you have these details, but also details about all other scholarships, such as local scholarships, for example, in your own country. So go and check all of this and ask your questions if you have any. So thank you very much. I think I was right on time. This is the email address on which you can send me your CVs, as I said, in which you can contact me if you have any question. And yeah, and I think we can take the live questions now. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Wassime, for the thorough introduction.
Right on time, right?
Right. You're perfect. And we have a very, really detailed outlook of HEC Paris already. Some more question. We got a lot of questions regarding the application. First of all, for people who already have working experience, say like 3 to 5 years of working experience, would you suggest them to applying for master program, or do you think they will be better to applying for MBA program?
So for those who have more than 3 years of experience, we basically have these programs built and geared towards students who does not have extensive work experience, meaning that they've done some internships, they've maybe had a placement or a first job. And when they graduate, they aim for entry-level positions. So that's why we have this eligibility criteria that we give as recruiters, because we want to maximize their chances of being admitted. Now, those who have more than 3 years of work experience, obviously, studying more is definitely an add-on on their career or a little switch. That's why an MBA is definitely a great fit for them.
I see. Which means like for your master program, there might be some age restriction. Is there?
So no age. The limit is basically 2 years when you apply, 3 years when you start the program, since your last degree. That's the limit.
I see. Since there are maybe mainly two ways to applying for HEC. The first would be through the HEC website directly. The second would be SAI. Is there any difference between them, or like in any channel they might have higher chances to get offered?
Higher chances, I can't tell about that. I'm not sure if you will have higher chances. What I can tell you is that, first of all, and that's a very important point, please do not apply through both. Like, choose either one, either HEC or SIE. If you are not 100% sure of which school you want to apply for, I think SIE is a great opportunity because it offers the option of many schools, of several schools in France. They are all good quality schools, and you will go through the process that is quite similar to ours, actually. So you will get familiar with that also if you visit their website. You can also contact me and I can also send you information. But if you're 100% sure that you want to do the international finance program at HEC, I will then tell you apply directly through the HEC website.
Sure. Just don't make the duplication on both.
Don't duplicate, because that's that can be eliminatory actually if you do so. So you should really choose either one or the other.
Sure. Let's keep on going with the application requirement. As you mentioned, there should be like letter of recommendation. Shall they also be submitted at the same time when they submit other documents? You mentioned like there should be one from professional, one from the academic background. Could it be like both from professional letters of a recommendation, since some of them may have like 1 or 2 year of work experience, and their like supervisor at job may know them better their current situation?
So that's a very good question. So first of all, regarding the referees, we do require one academic at least. So one of them must be academic. That's very important because as I mentioned, these are pre-experienced programs. So you're still, I would say, in the dynamic of studying. So we need one that is academic, and the other you can choose either professional or academic. What I recommend, what I advise is that you choose people who know you well, who know how you work, who know how you study. That's the most important we want to have in the letters. Now, technically how it works, in the application form, you need to put the name and the email address of your referees, and they will receive automatically an email with the form, the questions that will be sent directly to HEC. If that doesn't work for some reason, spam or whatever, you can always submit it as a PDF also. You also have the option. So you have both options, either be sent directly to them, which is the main option, or submit a PDF.
I see. You just mentioned when you introduced the program, there's some dual degree program. Some of them is like cooperate or say align with L'École Polytechnique in Paris, I suppose. Are
Yes.
those programs in English or in French or in both?
In English. In English. So these programs are taught in English. All of our programs, there are only 2 of them, which are 2 specialized masters that are taught in French, but all the others are taught in English. And once again, you're not required to speak French when you come. If you want to, you will have some French courses in the program, because it's always good to have some French when you want to go around Paris, right? But otherwise, the program are taught in English at Polytechnique.
For sure. So in other words, like DOF or other French language tasks is not required for applicants.
Not required. Once you get, because I know that some students also from Taiwan ask me these questions when they are admitted, but when you get your admission letter, you then go straight to Campus France for your visa application, and you are not required to take any French test.
Sure. We mentioned some of the qualifications for applicants. So you mentioned like it's an overall evaluation of the 5 requirements, but like in average, is any like GMAT score, like a GRE score in average you might have for like in your past experience?
Of course. So as an indication, I mean, what I say as a recruiter is that you need to aim for the best, obviously, the best score. This is always because you need to take time to prepare and aim for the best. Now, what I can tell you is that for the GMAT, what I know that the average is between 700 and 710, which is, I think, what you should aim for. And for the GRE is around 320.
I see. Like for example, for the program of international finance, that's like
710. 710 would be the average. So I would recommend you aim for the best, but once again, having a 710 in your GMAT does not guarantee a seat in the program. So you really need to put these different things forward.
Sure. Just give the audience a reference, they see whether they can judge how much they should reach or how much they are away from the average score. I know you didn't mention a lot about PhD program, but if they would like to pursue a PhD degree with HEC Paris, do they need to have a, say, supervising professor ready when they are applying for the school?
So what happens that as the PhD preparation for the PhD program is very personalized, what this person should do is contact me on the email address so that I can put him or her in touch with the person in charge of the PhD program. Is very personalized so that he can talk or she can talk about his specific case and see what's doable.
Yeah, sure. In
Same,
general,
same for the MBA programs. Same for the MBA programs for those who are interested, because I could see that question. Sorry to interrupt. If you would like to have information about that, as this is a pre-experienced master's programs presentation, so you can either go on our website. You have the option of submitting your CV to the MBA team, or you can contact me, and I can also put you through the right person.
Sure, of course. As we just mentioned, like it's a holistic overview, review on a student's profile. Is there any specific personality that HEC is looking for from the students? Like, what do you think? Yeah. please.
Yeah, so I would say being open-minded is very important. Being curious is very important. Being ambitious also, without being over-ambitious, but I mean ambitious in the right way. And being yourself, which I think is when I attend interviews, I think it's the thing that is very appreciated is that you come with your what you have in mind and with your projects and being yourself is very important. That's why we want to know who you are and if you're a good fit for the program, for the community, because it's not only during the program, it's also after. So I think those are the main points that we want to see in the personality.
Very good. And also probably they should show themselves in their personal statement or their motivation letter, like how they would like to develop themselves with HEC programs in the future.
Exactly.
Probably.
Exactly. And it's in this, the essay questions, actually, you get to be, you don't have any statement or motivation letter. We have questions for that, which is more engaging. And you get the chance to answer these questions. Why are you applying for HEC Paris? What is your short-term career goal? You know, and this is where actually you put forward all of your personality also, kind of. It's also a lot about soft skills. That's what I wanted to say earlier.
Right. They want to see who you are, like
Exactly.
yourself. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty like quality side of the profile. What about the quantity side? Like we mentioned like GMA GRE score. What about the average GPA score of the HEC students?
Yeah. So regarding the GPA, it's very, very, how can I say, difficult to judge because if you, for instance, send me your CV, I can definitely have a chat with you and evaluate regarding the different points. But what I can tell you is that there is no minimum GPA. That's the first thing I want to tell you. So don't hesitate to go for it and to apply. Now, if you want to review, I think it's always very good to have a personalized review, a personalized conversation about your case.
Right.
And once again, you can counterbalance with other aspects. If your GPA, you feel your GPA is a bit weak, if you have experience, you can do internships, you can work hard on your GMAT and get a great score, you can definitely counterbalance a weaker GPA if you feel that's this way.
Of course. Yeah. Uh, as a in general, like the first year for a master program would be like general courses or general training, and then in the second year, the student can choose their specialization. But is it any possibility that they may change their specialization when they realize like this is the choice is not their what they really want to further pursue or further seek their degree to?
So there are two things. The first one is that if you, first of all, during the first generalist year, you have the time to decide on your specialization. Plus, if you do a gap year, once again, this is where you actually apply for your specialization. So you got plenty of time to, first of all, discover different courses during your generalist year: finance, marketing, strategy. So you maybe fall in love with marketing and would like to work in that after. So you get the chance to take the time to take your decisions. That's the first thing. About changing specialization, I've never heard of that happening before because I think either students are accompanied through this whole process. They definitely made the right choice. And this final thing I want to say is that if you go to international finance, economics and finance, accounting, finance and management, or even strategic management, you get to open doors to many kind of sectors, many kind of jobs. Consulting is is a big part of it, but also in financial services. So, I mean, this specialization will not change your life, will not put you in a position forever. So that's also the other thing. But once again, you're accompanied, and you need to choose something that is, I think, that talks to you. Also, that in which you feel comfortable, in which you think the courses are interesting. Not only for the prestige, but also for your own interest. But look at the course content is very important.
The last questions, probably. Does the applicants say academic background, their diploma or bachelor diploma, matters when they are applying for a master program? what if they don't come from a prominent school or university?
Well, same here. Same here. Obviously, it has its importance, but it's not. That doesn't guarantee you a seat in the program. It's that's why and I know I say that all the time, but it's all about the overall profile, the whole profile, and about who you are. You can definitely counterbalance. You can, if you have a project, if you want to work in finance, if you have done research, if you know where you're going, where you're heading, and you're super motivated, then you should go for it, and you should definitely apply.
I know it's the last question, but like just one more of them. Can I apply for more than 2 programs?
Oh, well, I think that's linked here. So thank you very much, because I forgot to talk about that. So thank you. You see, I thought I said everything. So that's a very good question. So you have the option of having 2 choices in your application. So when you open your application form, you have choice 1, choice 2. How does it work? If you apply it round 1 to, for instance, Master in Management, and you put your second choice, Master in International Finance, so the Master in Management will be considered first at the first round. And we will, if you're admitted, then we will forget your second choice. If you're not admitted, then we will consider your second choice at the next round, at the second round. So you have the option of having, so you do 1 application, and you will be answering the questions for both programs in the same application, and you will have, you have to pay once the application fee. So yes, thank you again for this question, and this is definitely possible to have 2 choices.
Of course. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you.
I think that's all for today's QA.
That's
but
amazing.
There could be like a lot of them. Some of them are really interested in the MBA program and a PhD program. I believe they will reach you after
Of course.
the session with the email on our screen right now. And I hope all our audience have get their information to build up better and stronger profile application for HEC
Sure.
Paris. And thank you, Wassime, and joining us tonight and giving us very great outlook of the school.
Thank you for the organization, and thank you for all who participated, and have a lovely evening. It's still the afternoon here.
Yeah, so you have a good day. We hope to see you probably very soon in person.
I hope so. I hope so.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. See you next week.
See you.